Hi folks, welcome to Caption Live show number 16 and I'm Alexander Smith, your host of the show. You can call me just Alex and today we will edit raw images in Caption. I will edit your images, I will edit my images, I will edit everybody's images. I will show you some interesting tips and tricks to work with Caption. Yeah. I see some people online already. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Hi everybody. Let's see what we see in Facebook chat. Like starting from maybe episode number 12 or 13, YouTube audience is much more active than Facebook audience. I don't know why, but YouTube folks, you're doing great. I really love you. Okay. Yeah, I see Carlos and Mitri and Brasha. Sorry if I still didn't manage to pronounce it, but thank you very much for being there. I really appreciate it. Okay. First of all, before we will start, let's make some some routine arrangements, because that's just how things works. Okay. First of all, if you're planning to purchase Capture One or upgrade Capture One, just use this code to save 10%, just like inter-promotional code AMBC1 blog, click apply, and you will immediately save $29. Nice deal? I think it's a really nice deal. And also, some of my students, they are still using Caption 9 and they're just like, they have a plan, They're sitting with Caption 9 and they're just thinking, okay, Caption 11 looks nice, but I will wait for Caption 12 and bam, double deal, I will upgrade my Caption 9 license to Caption 12. Unfortunately, it doesn't work this way. The point is that usually there are some limited offers, but usually you can't upgrade your license which is more 2 versions old. I mean, like, for example, you can upgrade Caption 9 license to Caption 10 or Caption 11, but you can't upgrade it to Caption 12. That's why if you're using Caption 9 and you're just like right now you're sitting thinking that like, okay, like it's autumn pretty soon, we'll see autumn, and like usually the new version of Caption is released like in autumn or maybe like in the beginning of winter, like usually, and you're just like thinking that like, okay, I will wait. No deal. Unfortunately, that just would not work there. Like in most of the cases, there are some limited deals, but I highly recommend it to upgrade your Caption 9 license to 11's license, and then like an 11 to 12. That would save you money, because each upgrade would cost you with my code something about like €100 or something like that, and like the new license will cost 200, almost 279 euros or something like that. Like let's see, like, oh, it's $299. Well, you save. You're saving if you will upgrade your license. And the next thing, today I released the new issue of my Alexander newsletter. Here you will find lots of interesting tips and tricks. For example, I'm sharing my favorite shortcuts, which I highly recommend you to set up manually in Capture One, because like by default they have no like hotkeys assigned. Also, I'm sharing some interesting things to watch, tip of the week, and a raw file for practice. That's why if you wish to receive all this great stuff absolutely for free, just go to alexandra.com/newsletter, and here you can subscribe to my newsletter absolutely for free. Well, that's just like fantastic deal, but that's not all the great things about my newsletter. Soon, in almost like few days, maybe a week, I will just announce a winner, just a random person, random subscriber to my newsletter, and I will present him or her with a lesson with me. On Skype, 1 hour lesson, absolutely for free. I will answer all your questions personally. I can even edit your images during this lesson. Like, it's up to you. Okay, and also, today I will edit images, and will edit my images and your images. And if you wish to see your images edited in the next episodes of the show, just go to alexandra.com/upload, and here you can upload your raw files to see them edited. If you wish to see them, you can easily upload them there. Let's see what's happening in chats. Oh, yeah. I see in chat that you don't see them. Oh, that's a mistake of I hate it so much. You know, guys, I need a second screen. Usually I'm not using second screen in my work, but I'm so disappointed right now. I'm so disappointed. But you know, at the same time, you know, that's the feature of live shows. I mean, like, I'm not sitting there, you know, like recorded 10 times and like everything works perfect. You see, that's a real thing. That's a real life thing. You and me were sitting there and we're just talking. I think that's pretty okay. And such a mistakes, they works pretty fine. But okay, I just wish to replicate this things pretty faster. Just like this. Enter promotional code AMBC1 block. Click apply. Right? You will immediately save $29. Also, here you can upload your images, alexandra.com/upload, and here is my newsletter, alexandra.com/newsletter. Yeah. Okay, that happens, just happens. Matty is writing, "Hello Alex, I'm watching from Australia. It's after midnight here. Wow, that's, you know, like, that's such a fantastic stuff. Like, I'm just trying to imagine that you're sitting on some completely different side of the globe, and that's just a fantastic feeling. Thank you for sharing this, Matty. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's start with this raw file. This raw file was I shared this raw file with you in my previous newsletter, and I have shared it just to test your skills in the tool called Keystone. Keystone, you can find this tool in the Composition tab, Crop tab. Here it is, Keystone. Let me show you my pointer. Keystone, it's pretty interesting tool. It allows you to correct your issues with the image perspective or perspective. I shall check this. And how it works. Okay. you're clicking this this icon, like two vertical lines icon or two horizontal lines icon, or you might choose the third option. In this case, you will correct the image with vertically and horizontally, but in most of the cases, Keystone vertical works pretty fine. And just set the lines on the image as the building goes, like this. You see, that's pretty easy, and that's really nice things. Also there are some interesting tools. Like for example, you can change the correction, like this. Also, you can change the amount of this. By the way, Phase One has a pretty interesting article about this, why the amount of Keystone is set to 80% by default. The point is that we see the world not really straight. I mean, like, our eye generates some issues with the things around, and that's why, like, if I will set the amount to 100%, then you see, like, the building will look, well, absolutely unnatural. That's why by default the amount is set to 18. And also you can change the aspect. You see, that's also pretty useful thing. Like, let's rotate an image a little bit. Yeah, and let's create the new variant. Yeah, you see the difference, it's really huge. I think it's possible to make this correction a little bit better, but it's just the matter of time. Okay. Now let's go to your images. Let's see what we have here. Oh, let's start with this pretty nice images of fireworks. Well, you know, when I'm starting working with images, like, my first thing is just to check how much information this particular raw file has. Let's check it. Let's check, like, move just the saturation slider, the exposure slider. You see, and I just can see, like, all the information which contains in this raw file. Okay, I see. Such a highlights will be pretty nicely recovered by high dynamic range tool. Okay, now let's think a little bit. What we wish to do with this image. Like, first of all, of course, like, this is like fireworks. Fireworks shall be colorful. That's why let's increase the general overall saturation. We will add a little bit of contrast. Yeah, highlights recovery. Maybe a little bit of clarity, something like this. Let's start with it. Now, when we have like a basic image, basic editing, let's try something with color editor. What do we have here? I see red color, yellow, green, yeah, and a little bit of blue. Okay, I will increase saturation of purple color, magenta, and also I will decrease the lightness of this color. Also, I will increase saturation of the red color, but You know, I think I will do this in layers. I will create a mask. I will explain you why. I will create a mask, and now I will select the red color, and now I will, yeah, increase the saturation of red color. The reason why I'm doing this, I don't want to increase the saturation of this part of the image. I will increase it, but just a little bit, because otherwise, it will just like took too much attention to of the viewer to this part of the image. That's why I will increase the saturation there, but really accurate, pretty accurate. Yeah, like this. Now let's back to the basic colors. Yellow, we can, yeah, increase the lightness and the saturation there. Green, the same thing, saturation, well, okay, lightness, and yeah, and blue color, yeah, also saturation. I think now we have pretty nice, pretty colorful fireworks. Yeah, I think that's nice, but let's add something else. First of all, I will go to high dynamic range section. Let's see. Yeah, we have some information in shadows. Maybe something like that. What I can do else? I will go to color balance, and I will tone the shadows in some cold color, like this. Yeah, I think like this. Plus, let's try to do something with this water. Maybe we can manage some interesting editing there. Let's start with a RGB curve. Yeah, maybe like this, and a bit of clarity. Yep. And let's try to change the saturation. I think something, yeah, something like that. I would stop with this editing. I think it looks pretty colorful and pretty nice in general. Okay, let me see. What do I have a chance? Benoit, am I pronouncing your name right, Benoit? By the way, guys, like, feel free to correct me if I'm pronouncing your names or some words incorrectly. Like, just feel free to write me, like, you know, Alex, actually my name or this tool or something is pronouncing like this way. I'm not a native speaker, not an English native speaker. That's why, like, feel free to correct me. Benoit is writing, I'm pleased to watch your live show from France. Great. I was visiting France for a few times. Really nice country. Really nice. I was visiting Paris and some small cities near Paris, and also Marseille. Yeah, and Marseille. Okay. What do we have? Yeah, Philip is writing regarding this image. Looks great. That's pretty nice. And also, With this particular image, I got a question about exporting. I think I will create like an additional like standalone episode of this show about processing and exporting. But what I wish to tell you is that it's really important to understand that in some cases you might see like different processing on the processed image. And what you shall keep in mind is that, for example, if you have selected this particular recipe, you see like it's there is as RGB profile assigned, and this like the format is JPEG, and then you will process in T format with, for example, Prof Photo RGB. You might see like after you will process the image, you might see like some sort of difference, because well, color profiles, they seriously affect your image, and like you might see like the difference in saturation in details and in other parts of the image. That's why just don't be surprised, and like just keep in mind that if in your like view proof profile section is you have selected recipe selected, then just keep in mind that it's really important which processing recipe is selected, because it will really affect your preview of your image. Also, you can easily copy all these adjustments and paste to some other image. Let's see what we have there. Of course, there might be some issues. Like I will change the opacity of this particular layer, but anyway, it looks better. And here, yeah, the same thing. It also looks better now. Maybe let's change the opacity as well of this layer. And yeah, but here I don't think that you can recover lots of interesting things from this particular image. Okay, let's continue with some of my images, and then we will return to your images. What I wish to show you today, let me think. Well, you know, I have started to showing you like the batch processing, you know, with this like copy adjustments, apply adjustments, all this stuff. And Philip, by the way, is asking, how are you copying adjustments? That's a really interesting topic. Actually, like I'm a professional photographer, and I'm a professional commercial photographer, and I'm shooting like commercials, portraits, and also one of my specializations is reportage photography. You know, like this, like events and some action shootings and everything like this. And when you're editing like your, for example, images from some event, you just have to manage the like batch processing, batch editing. How we can do this? Like I will give you some tips. Maybe later we will run like a standalone show about reportage photography. But today I just wish to give you some basic tips. By the way, that's a pretty nice images from the very nice event called Phase 1 Certified Professional course. I'm Phase 1 certified professional, by the way, few times certified. I'm like certified expert in like Capture One and Phase 1 cameras and digital bags. And like this particular images are from one of such events. You can visit phase1.com and to learn more about this, but that's pretty interesting events. And this like pretty nice example of reportage photography. I was shooting because I had a chance to make some images of this event, and that's why I decided to make some photographs. What is my logic for reportage photography editing? Like, first of all, the first thing you need is to set up your workspace. That's the first thing you need. Like, all the main tools shall be located where they shall be. Like, and this is it. Just for example, like vignetting. I don't use vignetting in Capture One like in most of the cases. Like that's why I will just remove this tool. Also, for reportage photography, I need a white balance for sure. Right there, it's really common tool. Also, I wish to have rotation and flip tool right there. Yeah, like this is, I think this is it. Yeah, like this. It's really important, like really important. Like actually, usually when I usually when I'm working with my images, I have much higher resolution on my display. That's why, like, usually I have a little bit different workspace. But for live streams, I'm just like reducing the image screen resolution, and that's why I can't manage to place all the tools which I'm working with on the screen. But this is just like a basic set, and it's really important to have all the tools just right there, like to and be able to work with them as fast as it possible. Then the second point, when I'm opening images, I'm performing few basic actions. Like first of all, I'm selecting all the images from this event, and then I set a rating, like 1, for example. What is the point of this? The point is that then I can filter images by the rating, and if I don't like some image, for example, like this one, like no one is looking into the camera, and okay, I don't need this one. Okay, I'm just setting like the 0 rating, and in this moment I just don't see this image anymore. And that's pretty useful thing. And why it's so useful, it's because like if I will go vice versa, I mean, like for example, I will set a rating for a nice images. For example, like rating 5 for good images, and like 4 for nice images, 3 for like standard images. There is a problem. If I will forget to set the rating, I will lose the image. And in this case, if I will forget to set the 0 rating for a bad image, well, actually nothing really serious would happen. I will have more images in my collection, and this is it. Like that's why I highly recommend you to set the rating and then 0 it, just to remove the image. Also, the second tip is that in most of the cases for reportage images, you can set the basic adjustments. For example, in my case, I will set exposure to 0.6, contrast at 9, high dynamic range at highlight at 30, and shadows at 5. in most of this case in most of the cases, these particular adjustments will not hurt the image. They would either improve it or just don't do any harm, you know. Plus, I will set the sharpening. In my case, for my reportage cameras, I'm like these images were taken with the Nikon D800, but usually I'm working with the Nikon D4 for reportage shootings. I set my sharpening, noise reduction, like this, yeah, like this. And now I can just copy this images, and Philip was asking how I'm copying images. I'm just like doing like Shift Command C to copy. On Windows it will be Shift Control C, and to apply I'm just selecting all the images and I'm clicking Shift Command V. Shift Control V on Windows. But actually, if you have such questions, I highly recommend you to go to my free guide to Capture One. It's absolutely free guide. Just show table of contents, go to batch editing, and here you will find all the necessary information about batch editing in Capture One. The best articles, links to best articles, best videos about this topic, everything you need to know. Seriously, it's absolutely free. Like, that's why, like, first of all, I'm applying some of the basic adjustments. Let me see what we have in chats. Yeah, and after I have applied some basic editings, now there is time for the second part of the batch editing. Like the first part is like, you know, like to set up the workflow, to apply some absolutely basic adjustments. Now the next part is like a working with groups of images. The point is that most of your images could be like classified or could be just grouped. For example, like this. You see, like these two particular images, they actually looks pretty similar, and that's why you can just like edit one of the images like this, yeah, like this. Now you can just copy the settings and apply to all the similar images. You see? That's pretty easy. Like the main rule inside your head, it should be like a written with big letters, just inside your brain, just in front of your eyeballs. Well, a little bit scary analogy. Okay, but anyway, you shall just keep in mind that in most of the cases, in 99% of the cases, you shall copy and apply adjustments. Not to like set adjustments for some image from scratch. Like at least you have to copy and apply something. Maybe not the all editing you would be able to copy and apply from one image to another, but most of the adjustments should be copied and applied. That's the main rule of like batch editing. Otherwise you will just, unfortunately, you will just stuck with your images for days. That's not a good option. And then like applying, you see, oh well, a little bit called white balance there. Let's fix it a little bit. By the way, you can use like this picker here. No, I don't like this color. Yeah, I think it shall be. Yeah, by the way, there is another life hack. Okay, you see, I'm trying to find some interesting color correction solution for this image. And what I'm doing, I'm just trying different white balances. And in general, for example, I enjoy this white balance in general. But there is a problem. The problem is that particular white balance has some magenta. And I don't really like this. That's why I can just go to magenta section of colorator, and I will just decrease the saturation for it. You see? And now I have much accurate color, and the skin tone, well, I pretty enjoy the skin tone on this image. If we will compare to the original, you see, and we're just reducing the magenta effect of the on the white walls, on the white floor. You see, like we're just reducing this magenta effect, and like in general we're receiving pretty nice picture. Then we're just like copying, selecting all the similar images like this and applying. I think I shall reduce magenta a little bit more. Yeah, like this, like copy, apply. Now let's see. Yeah, I think now it looks pretty nice. Of course, in some cases you would have to do some, you know, like individual editing, like this. You see, like now here I don't like the skin tone there. That's why I will change the overall white balance. And of course, I need to crop my image a little bit there. That's okay. Just copy of the settings and simply apply the settings to one of the next images. By the way, there is a life hack how to. I think I have already shared this life hack in one of the previous episodes of my show, but I think it would be nice to repeat it again. There is like a life hack of how to not to apply crop during the batch editing, because you see, like if you will just like copy your settings and then apply, the crop will be applied as well, and that's not a good thing. What you need to do, just go there, click deselect auto select adjusted option, and select all except composition things, composition and like metadata as well. This is it. Now you can just like copy settings. You will copy all the settings except composition and metadata. Well, actually, you will copy them as well. They will not be applied to the next image. That's the feature. Like with this tool, adjustments clipboard, you're just selecting which settings will be applied to the next image and which settings don't. Yeah, you see, and now you can easily even crop image like this, then copy it and apply. And as you can see, you're not applying crop on your images. That's pretty nice option. And again, here another group of images. Just set the proper settings and apply to similar image. Copy, apply. Copy, apply. That's the thing. Okay, let me see what happens. Martin is asking, Alex, when I'm using layers in Capture One, is there any influence of the amount of layers on a final photograph in terms of printing? For example, 5 or 25 layers, please. Well, technically speaking, like there is a limit. there's a strict limit in Capture One. You're limited in 16 layers. Like that's the limit. Like, but actually, in most of the cases, I'm using maybe like 3, 4, 5 layers, sometimes 7 layers. When I need to do some retouch, well, then clone and heal layers will also take some place, but usually it's less than 10 layers for an image usually. But anyway, you're limited in 16 layers. Santosh is writing, "Hi Alex, greetings from India." Wow. Greetings. Would it be possible for you to edit any long exposure landscape image in Capture One? I switched to Capture One plus Affinity Photo from Lightroom Photoshop. Great choice. A couple of months ago. Absolutely great choice, and I also pretty enjoy of Affinity Photo. I think that's a great product, and you know, even on some photography forum or something, I think I saw, like, I might mistake, but I think I saw one of the developers of Affinity Photo was replying to some photographer, and the reply was to the question like which RAW converter Affinity developers would recommend to use. And Affinity Photo developer recommended Capture One as one of the best RAW converters. But talking about long exposure images, unfortunately, I'm just trying to remember, but I think I don't have. I have no such images in my archive as I can remember. But if you have some, just go to alexandra.com/upload. Here you can upload your images to see them edited by me, and also I promise not to use them for any other purposes except like demonstrating the editing in Capture One live show and using these images in promotion materials related to the show, you know, like YouTube like images or something like that. But just I promise you not to sell your images on like photo banks or something like that. Promise. Okay, let's see. Benoit is asking, why do you not apply an auto settings to all images selected? That's an interesting question. The point is that, like, yeah, in Capture One you have some auto adjustments available, some like white balance, exposure, contrast and brightness, high dynamic range, levels, rotation, and keystone. But there is an issue, a bunch of issues. Honestly, like, first of all, Keystone is not available for regular cameras. Keystone auto keystone correction is available for Phase 1 digital backs only, as well as rotation of the correction. That's why, well, okay, actually you don't, like, if you're not an owner of Phase 1 digital back, you just can't apply this auto corrections. Next, white balance. I don't believe in auto white balance at all. Like, I'm talking not only about like Capture One white balance, auto white balance, or I don't believe in white balance, like in auto white balance. I mean, yeah, that's fine to set like auto white balance on your camera, but you shall never think that your camera, your software, or anybody else would decide better than you which white balance should be set on some particular image. You know, because, like, for example, like, technically speaking, that's a pretty correct white balance there. Does it look fine for me? Not at all. Not at all. I think that this look is the color I like to see on my images. And you might argue with me, you might enjoy like different colors, you might think that like for this image like a different white balance would look better. That's okay. This is how photography works. You know, like this is how photography market works. I mean, like, I personally, as professional photographer, I prefer this particular look. And you might prefer, like, this look. That's okay. And the point is that, like, my clients, they would hire me to have this look. And your clients would hire you to have this look. But each client would think that he's receiving the best look he is possible to find, because, well, people are just different. Some of them enjoy these colors and others enjoy these colors. That's fine, but just don't delegate this feature to your camera, because in this case you're just losing your personality. This is just my point of view to this issue. And let's go next. Exposure autocorrection, it's pretty nice in general, but again, like in some cases, especially in some difficult conditions of the shooting, you know, like some dark room or something like that, auto exposure correction will ruin your images. That's why I'm trying to avoid it. Contrast and brightness, in general, it works fine. Again, except some pretty difficult conditions of shooting. High dynamic range, the same thing. Like when you're shooting in some, you know, like, let me show you some. When you're shooting in where we have you know, like some sunny day outside, like this, you know. Of course, you can just like click auto high dynamic range. You see, like in general, it works pretty nice. The same maybe there. Yeah, it like everything is fine there from the point of capture one. Or maybe here, let's check. Yeah, you see, works pretty good. But usually you're making images in much more specific conditions. Maybe it will be like a dark hole or something like that, you know, like something like, let's see, like this. Let's try autocorrection. I don't really like it. I don't like that the application is trying to recover so many details with this particular tool. This is what I don't really want. That's why, again, like if you're shooting in pretty stable, pretty like understandable conditions, well, most of the auto adjustments would work fine. But if you're shooting in some difficult conditions, and in most of the cases you will shoot in difficult conditions, most of auto adjustments, well, they're just like, it's just like a lottery. Like sometimes they would work fine, sometimes not. Plus, there is only one tool which is absolutely predictable: levels. Levels, you can set like the limits of the autocorrection of this tool. Just go to Capture One Preferences, Exposure, and here you can set auto levels clipping thresholds. Just like shadows, for example, by default the clipping threshold are set to 0.1, but you can change like 0.2. Just keep in mind that if you will set 5, it will seriously affect your editing. Like just check this out. You see, like that's pretty harsh editing. And in this case, with the accurate auto levels, you see the image is much more accurate. That's why, once again, white balance I don't recommend. Exposure, contrast, and brightness and high dynamic range. Well, if you're shooting in pretty like fine conditions, that's absolutely okay. Levels, you can set the limits of autocorrection. That's why it's absolutely a controllable tool, and I recommend you to use it. Also, Benoit is asking, if you apply an auto settings to all images, are the settings adapted to each image? Yeah, that's a good thing. I mean, like, yeah, they're adapting. I mean, like, for example, if you will select like this bunch of images and you will click auto levels, you will see that for each particular image, the autocorrection like works like personally, individually, and well, otherwise it would not really make sense, because like otherwise it will be just like a batch, just copy and applying adjustments, and that's it. Like auto adjustments work individually, but if you're copying, selecting, and applying, it work like just as copy and applying. That's why, yeah, auto correction of levels, it sometimes, like if I see that the general shooting requires levels correction, I also perform auto correction in the beginning of the editing. Let's see what I have on Facebook. Christoph is asking, sorry, I must leave. Could you please leave the URL where I could see this video? Well, yeah, sure, I will answer to your comment, but also just go to youtube.com/Alexandra. You can subscribe here to my channel, and here you will find all the recordings of all the previous episodes of the live show. Okay, let's edit some of your images. I think like we will talk about batch editing, like and reportage shooting maybe in some of the next episodes, because like it's really important to understand that like I'm not running like some webinars, for example, because like guys from Phase 1 are running fantastic webinars. They are preparing for them, they are like doing like a great work, and they're running kind of like 1 or 2 webinars a month. I just wish to run a live show. Like we're just talking, you're asking me a question, I am answering you. I just wish to be for you the person which is available once a week just to talk about Capture One. Like just like a friendly talk. Like once a week, you're gathering with your friends, you're talking about something, like maybe you have some new questions about Capture One. You can always ask me them. That's just a different format, but we will talk about batch editing in future episodes for sure. Okay, let's see. Well, that's a really nice portrait. Okay, what we can do there? First of all, I will apply some general exposure correction there, like this. Also, I will change the white balance a little bit, yeah, like this. Now, I wish to work with layers. What I will do there, I will draw a mask, a pretty inaccurate mask. This is why I really love Capture One, because you can draw such a mask, then just go to Refine Mask, and your mask is much accurate right now. Now I will invert this mask, and what I will do there, I will make the background a little bit cooler, and then I will add some toning. Let's see. Yeah, like this, and highlights. Do we have? Yeah, we have highlights here, and highlights like that. No. Yeah, like this. You see the point why I'm doing this. I just wish to edit everything except the skin tone. I can do even more. I can work even more accurately here. I can remove the mask from there. I can refine it again. Yeah, like this. Yeah, now you see, like, I have changed everything except the skin tone, because I'm pretty fine with the skin tone I have. Also, I can add some clarity to this layer, and you see that there is a reason why I have why I'm applying clarity to this particular layer without without skin tone. The point is that if I will apply clarity to background, you see that would make the skin looks much more not so nice. I don't really like this. Yeah, I think for girls, like, it's such a correction looks much better. But of course it depends on personality, but in general I think it's better to avoid of adding clarity to woman portraits. Yeah, like this, you know, like, yeah, something like this. Maybe a little bit of HDR. Yeah, like, yeah, now I pretty enjoy this. Let me see what I have in the question. Martin is asking, Alex, in preferences color, let's go to preferences color. There is a first option called transform rendering intent. When you click on it, there are some options. Default is perceptual. Can you explain its meaning? Well, that's like, you know, like, I don't want to go really deep into this topic right now, because that's a big topic, like a really big topic. I mean, I just can tell you know, like, okay, guys, you know, like this for this, and this one for this, and this works great there. It's just like, it's a really like very technical question, and I need to to be prepared to answer to such a question properly. I mean, I'm talking about like images, but what I can tell you for sure, just keep in mind that caption, like, yeah, for you maybe it's just a raw converter and nothing else, you know, like just image editing software. But just keep in mind that if you will go to phase1.com, and for example you will go to camera systems and just go to, not camera systems, like solutions, go to, for example, cultural heritage, and you will see that lots of museums, really famous museums around the world, are using like phase 1 cameras and caption software to, for example, like scan negatives, or to you see, like, make images of some like documents from archives, or really old paintings and everything like this. Or if you will go to like inspection section, you will see that like there are some like specific gear for inspection. Or if you will go to, for example, mapping and survey, you will see like different gear for this. And of course, like not all this like cameras and not all these technologies like using Capture One, but anyway, in Capture One is used not only for the regular image editing. That's why what I can tell you for sure is that all the other rendering intents they are suitable for very specific needs. If you are just a photographer, just like a portrait photographer, reportage photographer, commercial photographer, landscape photographer, in all of these cases, perceptual rendering intent will work will fit you best. That's why you just don't need to set other options. But I think in one of the next episodes I can give you like the better explanation what other rendering intents do, and to illustrate it with you know, like some images which give you the better understanding of this feature. Because like it's pretty technical stuff. But just keep in mind that in most of the cases you don't need to change this option. Okay, I think this is it for today. Before we will end, I just wish to remind you that you can see your images edited. Just go to alexvanderrohe.com/upload. Here you can upload like up to 5 raw files to see how I will edit them in one of the next episodes of the show. And also subscribe to my newsletter to receive lots of great tips and tricks about Capture One. And also, if you like, I see some new viewers of the show. That's pretty nice, folks. Really nice to see you there. But also, I also see some photographers who are visiting my show like many times in the row. That's also pretty cool. And if you wish to say like thanks or something like this, just share this discount code on your on photography forum where you are usually communicating with other photographers, or just share it with your colleagues and friends. Just post it to Facebook, just right now, for example, you can post like on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere else, so that you can save 10% on Capture One license, Capture One for Sony license, all the upgrades and everything else, like just using this code. Just post this code. That would be like the best thank you message to me. Yeah, and I see lots of comments from you. That's really nice to see, folks. Really nice. Okay, see you next week. Subscribe to my newsletter to receive more information about Capture One. Thank you very much for being with me, for asking great questions. See you next week. Take care.